It all started with me.
Yeah, and how long has he been living there? Oh, brilliant. The flat is let to a Ross Bryan. Yes, thanks very much. Yes, we'll keep in touch. Bye.
Got him, Rich. Ross Bryan. He's got a form for GBH and fraud. What's this? There's a locate trace out on him. Want to find him in relation to a missing person inquiry.
Yeah, look at that. He was employed by Swanson's. Got fired a couple of months ago. He's holding the boss's dog to ransom now.
I've already explained this to you. Before the baby died, me and Keith were fine. Keith was faithful. It's only after I shut him out that things started to go wrong.
It's not your fault. Keith didn't start raping women because you kicked him out of bed.
But he punished me for it. And then when the punishment stopped, I never questioned why. What had changed? Looking back, I must have known. I must have
Known what?
that there was someone else. That there was more than one woman. Part of me must have had some idea about what he might have been doing to those people, those women. So, you see, the problem stemmed from me all along.
Listen, if Keith had punched a woman or even stabbed her, how would you feel about that? Would that be your fault as well?
That's not the same.
It's exactly the same. Rape isn't about sex. It's about control. It's about having power over someone, hurting them. Plenty of men have to deal with the death of a child. Plenty of men have to cope with the woman they love pulling away from them. They don't react the way Keith has.
I wanted that baby more than anything in the world. I would have done anything for it. I wanted it more than Keith. Well, that's normal, isn't it? I mean, you'd do anything for your kids. You'd sacrifice your life for your children, wouldn't you? But if you can't help them... I'm sure that's how he feels.
Keith.
He's devoted all that time to... brought her up and...
Who are you talking about, Louisa?
It must have felt like such a failure.
Louisa, I'm not following you.
Sean's dad.
Sean?
The girls that keep...
Sean Frost? Is it her father who attacked you this morning?
He said I should hang for what I've done.
So where is he?
We think he's been out in a flat in Dalston.
Dalston?
Unfortunately, it was soon that he's been moved there.
You all right, Mr. Swanson?
Oh, it's getting to both of us. This is the first day off sick he's had in 25 years.
And what is it?
Stomach ulcers. Usually just sit at your desk and pop indigestion pills, don't you, babe?
I think I ought to go lie down.
Before you do that, I need to ask you some questions about a former employee of yours, Ross Bryan.
Ross Bryan has got my dog. I don't understand.
Well, we don't know for certain that he's got your dog,
Well, you've got to get Tiny away from him. I mean, tell him. The man is an animal. He'll kill him.
Shut up, Dawn!
Maybe it'd be a good idea if you left us alone for a while.
No.
Just leave us, darling.
It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, he's sacked from your company. It's a great way of getting his own back on you.
I don't want to pursue this.
Sorry?
It's taken up too much of everyone's time. He can have the dog. He's not having any more of my money.
This isn't about Tiny anymore, Mr. Swanson. Some officers need to speak to Bryan about a missing person case.
Yeah, and that's got nothing to do with me.
You know about that? How come?
There was a lad off one of the building sites. I've already spoken to your mob about it.
So when did this lad go missing? About the same time that you sacked Ross Bryan. Why did you sack him?
Why'd I hire him, more like? Look, I've made substantial losses on the last 3 projects we've taken on. I've had to remortgage this place just to keep things afloat. Dawn doesn't know anything about it.
What's Bryan got to do with this?
I employed him to get costs down. I didn't monitor what he was doing closely enough, and now I'm in a whole load more trouble. We had to call a halt to the work on the latest build. As soon as the foundations were laid, the whole thing started sinking. Ross seemed to think we could continue for a while, that the problem would somehow miraculously mend itself. I refused to. We argued. I sacked him. Then he started phoning me, threatening me, telling me I owed him money.
Why didn't you come to us?
He's got something over you, isn't he?
Ross was in charge of hiring labour. He offered them a certain amount of money per day, but on payday he'd dispute the amount. Keep back a few £100 from all their wages. It was a money-saving exercise.
Are you ripping them off?
Yeah.
And did he give the money back to you?
A while ago, Ross told me that one of the workers was kicking up a stink, threatening to go to the Inland Revenue.
You were paying them cash in hand, were you?
I told Ross to get rid of him. I meant sack him. Put the frighteners on him if he had to. Nothing more.
Are you saying...
I never understood why Ross fought so hard to keep that project going. He had no real investment in it. Silly, really. At the time, it made no sense. But then I started thinking about all the things Ross said to me, and the timing of the whole thing.
You think he's in the foundations, don't you?
Is that Jean-Paul's stud?
Yep.
Will, we need to talk. Listen, I don't want to lose you as a friend.
Come on, Emma, don't patronise me.
I'm not. I didn't mean to treat you badly. I'm sorry if I did.
You slept with me, told me we were going to finish with Matt, then decided to get married to him all in the space of 24 hours.
I know, it sounds really bad. But it wasn't like that, honestly. I just didn't...
What?
Matt and I have been together for ages, and he knows me. And I love him, and I suppose I didn't want to risk losing all of that. I had to make a choice. It was just...
Bad timing.
I am really sorry.
This is Ross's mobile number. It's the only way I've got of contacting him.